Has anyone got Jamie Carragher's phone number? We have a serious discussion to have with him. See, if you've been on football social media for more than 5 minutes this week, you probably saw this already. There was a Sky Sports clip segment where Jamie Carragher ranked his top 10 goalkeepers in Premier League history. Petr Cech was his number 1, Peter Schmeichel at number 2, Alisson at number 3, then David De Gea, Thibaut Courtois, Edwin van der Sar, Neville Southall, David Seaman, and Pepe Reina. Look, we're not saying it's a bad list, it's stacked for a reason. But when you watch Alisson week after week for Liverpool, it feels almost impossible to see him anywhere other than number 1. See, this is not about longevity, not about who's been around the longest, it's about who has repeatedly been the difference between history and heartbreak. So today we're not here to disrespect the legends or use stats like a baseball card collection. We just want to make the following case in the simplest way possible. If you judge the best goalkeeper by who saves the biggest moments with the highest consistency in the toughest league and under the most pressure, then Alisson has a real argument to be the greatest the Premier League has ever seen. Hit that like and subscribe button and let us explain our point of view. Before we start arguing like it's a family dinner, we have to agree on one question, because best can mean 3 different things, and people keep fighting while talking about completely different criteria. First, there's legacy and longevity. That's where keepers like Cech look untouchable because the all-time record book is ridiculous. The Premier League themselves credit him with the most clean sheets with 202 and talk about him as the only keeper to reach 200. Second, there's peak form. That's a short window where a keeper looks like a cheat code. For Alisson, the football world basically screamed that in 2019. FIFA named him the best men's goalkeeper and UEFA named him Champions League goalkeeper of the season. Now the third point, and this is the one we care about the most, is the big moment value. The saves that decide seasons. The saves that swing trophies, the saves that make you understand why goalkeepers are the most unfair position in football. You can play well for 89 minutes and a single action decides how you're remembered. And if you're judging Alisson by that standard, his case is terrifying. You see, if you stop thinking about highlight reels and start thinking about actual turning points, only then you'd understand Alisson's value. Let's go back to December 2018. Anfield final group game in the UEFA Champions League. Yes, the old group stage format where we needed the full 3 points from Napoli to equal them and proceed into the next round. Salah got us up, the tensions was high despite us having the lead, then it happened. Napoli break through, the cross finds Miki clean through from close range, and it's the kind of chance where you already start blaming someone before the shot is even taken. Missing that one was harder than scoring it. Well, that's what makes the Brazilian so special. Alisson comes out of his line, spreads himself and blocks the effort. That save didn't just look good, it protected qualification and kept the entire European season alive, which we all know how it ended. So we totally understand what Jurgen Klopp meant when he said after the game that if he'd known how good Alisson was, he would have paid double. Alisson himself later described that save feeling like he'd scored the final winning goal. That's how much he understood what was on the line. Funny thing is, this wasn't the only save that allowed our club to write history. Fast forward a few months, the famous semi-final second leg at Anfield, we all remember the corner, we all remember the scoreline, but people forget the uncomfortable truth. Barcelona actually had chances for the away goal that would have killed the comeback. And, as some people might have forgot, we're looking at you, Jamie, Alisson refused to allow that calm down it's over moment to arrive at Barcelona. On the night, he made big saves to deny Lionel Messi and Philippe Coutinho, and The Guardian gave him a 9 out of 10, while pointing out that he kept Barcelona out when they had openings for a precious away goal. And of course, we can't talk about the Champions League run without mentioning the final in Madrid against Tottenham Hotspur. After the goalkeeping drama we lived through the year before, our number 1 job was simple: don't give the final away. And when Spurs finally started testing Liverpool late, Alisson had to make impressive saves, including efforts from Son and Lucas Moura as pressure arrived in waves. 1 year earlier, Liverpool lost the final partly due to a goalkeeping moment. 1 year later, Liverpool won it with secure goalkeeping in key moments. That is how Alisson rewrote the part of our history. Now we can keep talking about the other trophies Alisson helped us win, like the 2022 FA Cup final, where he saved Mount's penalty or the 2 league titles where he definitely saved us points on our way through. We wouldn't even had the chance in that PSG game last season, and this year he makes saves game after game. Without him, we wouldn't be near Champions League spots. But enough about that, there's one more iconic moment that honestly sounds fake when you say it out loud. It's like you're telling a myth. February 2021, Alisson's father, may his soul rest in peace, drowned in a lake in Brazil. May 2021, just a few months later, a morning Alisson did the unthinkable. We were chasing a top 4 finish after an underwhelming season that we managed to save in the last stretch of the campaign. 1-1 away against West Bromwich Albion, last corner, Alisson goes up and scores a stoppage time header to win it. Do you know how mad that is? A goalkeeper's header to put us 1 point behind 4th place Chelsea and ultimately allow us to secure Champions League football after 2 games. That is legendary. Now, the moments are the headlines, but the reason Alisson has this greatest ever argument is that he isn't just good at one thing. He's elite at 3 hardest parts of modern goalkeeping at the same time. The Premier League is chaos. It's transitions, broken structures, and attackers living for that one clean look at goal. So the question becomes, what does your keeper do when your high line fails and the opponent is in behind? See, Alisson is a one-on-one specialist. His timing, starting position, and patience forces attackers into the worst possible decision. And we've seen it against the very best. In the Anfield win over Manchester City in 2022, Alisson pulled a superb save against Haaland. These saves don't always go viral like a top corner fingertip, but for coaches and for high-press teams, they are the saves that make the system possible. As we all know, Liverpool's best years under Klopp were built on a high line and aggressive pressure. That style leaves space behind and somebody has to defend it. Analysts have highlighted how Alisson fits this modern sweeper-keeper role, stepping out of his box to anticipate danger and kill attacks before they even become shots. That's why he feels like an extra defender. Except, he's also the guy who then has to make the save if it goes wrong. One final and kind of obvious point is, in the modern game, the goalkeeper is a part of the build-up. It's simple. A keeper needs to make himself available to recycle possession and give fluidity, especially for teams trying to control games from deep. Even Klopp, after that Napoli game, specifically pointed out Alisson's calmness with the ball as a major reason Liverpool can build. Now, we're not going to sit here and pretend De Gea wasn't outrageous for a stretch, or that Ederson didn't redefine distribution in this league. And we're definitely not acting like Schmeichel and Cech didn't set the standard for their eras. Carragher's list is stacked for a reason, as we said earlier. But here's the difference we want to highlight. Most of those keepers have a signature strength. Alisson is the rare case where you don't have to pick just one because his argument is built on moments and on how complete he is as a modern-day goalkeeper. He has the keep us alive save versus Napoli. He has the protect the miracle performance against Barcelona, the finals don't break me mentality in Madrid in 2019 and Wembley 2022. He even has the moment where he literally becomes the hero at the other end against West Brom. And yes, the awards exist too, but we'll treat them as a backup, not the main point. He's won the Premier League Golden Glove twice, and he's won the Premier League Save of the Month for that ridiculous denial of Miguel Almiron in 2023. Plus, outside England, he's won the best FIFA men's goalkeeper in 2019, and he won the inaugural Yasin Trophy the same year, which tells you exactly how the wider football world viewed him at his peak level. So if you want to argue longevity, sure, you can push Cech. If you want to argue who had the biggest record book, fine. But if you're asking the most important question, who would I trust to save my season, we're taking Alisson every single time. So the next time you see a ranking graphic and Alisson isn't sitting at number 1, don't just get angry, ask one question. How many goalkeepers in Premier League history have multiple moments where you can genuinely say, if he wasn't there, that trophy doesn't happen, that qualification doesn't happen, that season ends differently? Because when you start answering that honestly, the list stops being a debate and starts being obvious. That brings us to the end of today's video. Do let me know your thoughts on who you think the greatest goalkeeper of all time is in Premier League history, and don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more.